Hi guys, Ali Duzette here, and I am so excited to be telling you about the 14-day Rake Rakanhar challenge. Hooray! Okay, we are only 14 days away right now from the final Pluto return. And I've done a lot of videos about this, but basically, astronomically speaking, Pluto is returning to the same place that it was on July 4th, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed. There's just a lot going on with that, but it basically, for other nations, has marked the beginning of 12 years of massive governmental and civil and economic upheaval. And so we're heading into that right now. And that's just one aspect of what we're heading into, because we're also heading into Pluto's transit into Aquarius, which is a very revolutionary energy. And out of Capricorn, which typically when Pluto makes a Capricorn transit like that, there's an economic crash. We're also heading into a nodal shift from our current Scorpio to Taurus axis to Libra to Aries, which is moving away from interpersonal harmony and to basically interpersonal conflict. And so we have a lot coming up in 2023, and this is something that I wanted to help prepare us for somehow. And I thought, how am I going to help everybody prepare for the Pluto return? And as I was thinking about this, another mantra came into my mind called Rake Rakanhar. So before we even talk about that, I have to give the mandatory introduction to Kundalini yoga and meditation, KYM. This is considered a technology. It involves mantra and mudra. And so mantra is the words that you say, mudra is what you do with your body. So I always say that Kundalini yoga and meditation is not boring meditation. It's a meditation, but you move around, you sing, sometimes you dance. It's just a very exciting way to get into a meditative state without being bored. When you do Kundalini yoga and meditation, the sets that you do are called kriyas. And that's when you use specific words with specific ways of moving your body. And you often listen to music while you do it. And actually this exact meditation, you are just going to breathe. And the mudra is to hold your hands a certain way, to breathe a certain way, and just listen to the mantra. So you don't have to learn this mantra. You don't have to learn how to say it, which is good because it's like long and crazy, but you just get to listen to it and hold your hands and your mouth a certain way, and that will do the trick. Kriyas are like recipes. When you do certain things in the right order, you activate certain parts of your brain and endocrine system that just don't get activated otherwise. So the story behind Kundalini yoga and meditation is that it was passed down from master to student for thousands of years. And in the 1960s, a Yogi Bhajan, the master of yoga at the time, came to America and saw that people were looking for enlightenment in all the wrong places. Remember, this was the sexual revolution, drugs, psychedelics. He was looking around and saying, oh my gosh, these people are looking for enlightenment, and what they need is yoga. So he felt like it was the time to restore yogic truth to the whole world for the first time. And part of this was because he knew that we were approaching what the yogis call the Age of Aquarius and what Christians might call the millennium, the 1,000 years of peace at the end of the world. And so Yogi Bhajan taught that the Age of Aquarius started to begin in 2012. I hope that makes sense. It's not like the 1,000 years of peace start in 2012, but like 2012 was like the gate that opens up this preliminary period where we do have the wars and rumors of wars and massive upheavals and conflicts as the earth prepares itself for the 1,000 years of peace. So that door opened in 2012, according to the yogis. And now here we are 10 years later. And astrologically, astronomically speaking, the Pluto return indicates that we have another 12 years of big, crazy stuff coming up. However that will play out, I don't know. But Yogi Bhajan taught that as the world experiences the massive trauma associated with the shift into the Age of Aquarius, everybody would lose their minds because of the trauma, except for those practicing Kundalini yoga and meditation. So I'm a Christian and I love Kundalini yoga and meditation. That scripture, by their fruits you shall know them, has been big with me. I know there's a lot of people that feel like yoga is evil and they don't see how it fits in with Christianity, but I really believe that it does. I believe that God speaks to people in every culture and has through all time. And I don't see why God couldn't have placed Kundalini yoga and meditation in our laps as an additional complementary tool. Obviously, this is not a replacement for God or something, but why can't it be something that helps us get closer to God? I just don't understand that. Side note, in a book I'll recommend in a minute, it talks about how Jesus, you know how Jesus went missing? I mean, in the official biblical records from age 13 to 30, there is an Indian tradition that Jesus, they call him Master Issa, actually went to India and studied yoga, and that he came back and taught John the Baptist yoga. And so there is an Indian and yogic tradition that Jesus is a yogi, and that the 12 apostles actually did study yoga. And I have some pictures about this in a minute. But anyway, there's a lot of people that have faith and still struggle, because going back to Christianity and yoga, where people will say, well, why do we need yoga? We have Christianity, but a lot of these same people will take, Zoloft, or like, that's not the right one, but like, dang it, I can't remember, but antidepressants, and they'll take like antipsychotic medications, like they'll take mind altering drugs because they feel like that's important, but won't consider yoga. I don't know. It's just a really interesting kind of mindset. But anyway, however you feel, that is fine. If you feel like yoga is evil, then that's fine. Don't do this challenge. Okay. So one big focus in Kundalini yoga is mantra, and this is actually a Christian tradition as well. Mantra just means it's words that we meditate on. And so the Lord's Prayer is a mantra. Many people memorize it and ponder it and say it over and over. The scripture, be still and know that I am God, very popular mantra. Every time you memorize a scripture and then think about it, you are participating in what the Kundalini yogis would call mantra. The Kundalini mantras are in a language called Gurmukhi, which Yogi Bhajan taught activates the part of your brain that they are referring to. So every time that you speak, you're reverberating sound, right? There's sound waves and actual vibrations that are going through your head. And the idea is that the vibrations associated with each word in Gurmukhi go along with the word that they mean. So the word love would activate your brain's love centers. The word protection activates the part of your brain that experiences the feelings of protection. So that's why we chant in Gurmukhi. Like, that is why the yogis have always done it, because it's all about brain. It's about actually changing your brain structure. It's about your neurology. Okay, it actually is like pretty scientific. If you go and look up studies on things like curtain kriya, you'll find people have done like brain studies on this, on different aspects of Kundalini yoga and meditation, have found really interesting stuff, that it really does change how your brain works in a good way. It calms you down, soothes your nervous system. If you're in trauma, it helps rewire your nervous system. Now, mudra is how you hold your body. So in a Christian setting, this might be if you fold your hands or arms to pray, like however you're holding your hands to pray, you are participating in mudra. Whenever they're like in certain religions, there's certain prayers in certain places where you might hold your hands in a specific way, and that is mudra. It is a Kundalini yoga concept, and it's a Christian concept. So in meditation, we hold our hands in certain ways. And of course, your hands are deeply connected to your brain, and how you hold your hands affects your brain. So each hand motion is designed to support your brain function. And each, you match the mudra and the mantra to create a total brain rewiring effect for whatever goal that you have. So there's like probably hundreds of meditations like this. And then you just like pick the one that works for you, basically. But this time we're doing Rakhe Rakanhar, and so I will teach that to you in a minute. But this is some examples of mudra in Christianity. Ancient images of Christ have him holding his hands in yogic forms. Okay, this is a Prithvi mudra, Ardhapataka mudra, Prana mudra. Okay, all those word pictures of Jesus holding his hands in certain ways, these are all yogic technologies. This is a great book, Awake as in Ancient Days by Felice Austin on Amazon. It is specific to Christ-centered Kundalini yoga, and I actually have a small feature inside of it. Sorry, this is so blurry. This is Meditation is Medicine by Dharma Singh Khalsa. He's a doctor. who took up Kundalini yoga and actually uses it as prescriptions. Like if people have a thyroid thing, he'll assign them the thyroid meditation that has you moving your neck so that it stimulates thyroid hormone, that kind of thing. So you can heal a lot of things with meditation. And so I love that. To me, it is complementary medicine. And I feel that it is Christ-centered. I mean, if you come at it with a Christ-centered perspective, then you see Christ in it everywhere. So we are entering a 14-day meditation challenge today. Just for 2 weeks, we are all going to meditate together for just a few minutes a day on the Rakhe Rakanhar mantra, and we will see for ourselves how it changes and blesses our lives. So the words of this mantra translate to: God himself is looking out for us, gives us the light, and takes care of our affairs. God is merciful and never forgets us. God guides us, giving us good people to help us. God does not allow hurt to come to us. I will take comfort in the thought of God. When I remember God, I feel peaceful and happy, and all my pain departs. Now, I posted this in my Facebook group, and I was completely stunned at how many people commented that they were, I don't want to say triggered, but like, I don't know, they were just like taken aback by the line that says, God does not allow hurt to come to us. And I said, well, I've been hurt. God must have allowed it. Which is just so interesting to me because I don't know, I just didn't even think of that perspective. When I read that, I just feel like this is it's a mantra. Like this is just something that you ponder on. Like, I don't see the difference between that line and just saying, God is my protector, or God always protects me. God does not allow hurt to come to me. Like, that's just something you meditate on it until your subconscious mind believes it so that you experience God's permanent protection. In my own life, I feel like God does not allow hurt to come to me. And I think some of that, certainly now, as I've been on this healing journey for many years, I feel like now very few things happen that I would consider hurtful in my life. I can't even really think of any recently. Of course, I experience physical pain, and sickness, and, my kids say mean stuff to me and stuff like that, but I don't feel the same kind of suffering that I used to. And I definitely will credit God for that, but also there's also a perspective shift going on here, where someone in my Facebook group, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are, but somebody posted that scripture that says, all these things shall be for thy good and shall give thee experience. And I loved that. And I thought, yes, that is exactly right. We experience situations that may seem hurtful, and truly our physical bodies may be hurt and our emotions may be hurt, but are they truly hurt? Is it because we put it into this bigger perspective of that everything happens for our good? Does that make sense? It's kind of like exercising, you work out at the gym and then for 2 days afterwards, your muscles are really sore. Were you hurt? Did God allow hurt to come to you? Kind of, but also it was for your good. It's a blessing for you. And so anyway, those are some additional perspectives, but I went ahead because that's just one person's translation. So this is another translation I found from Kundalini Yoga East, and I'll put the link below. This is his translation, and I loved it. And it does not have the same line. So see how they translated the same words. Thou who savest, save us all and take us across, uplifting us and giving us the excellence. You gave us the touch of the lotus feet of the Guru, and all our jobs are done. Side note, Guru is the one who brings the light from the darkness. I believe it's a reference to Jesus Christ. You have become merciful, kind, and compassionate, and so our mind does not forget thee. In the company of the holy ones, you take us from misfortune and calamities, scandals, and disrepute. Godless, slanderous enemies, you finish them in timelessness. That great Lord is my anchor. Keep firm in your mind. By meditating and repeating his name, all happiness comes and all sorrows and pain go away. Wow, so beautiful. Possibly a much more accurate word for word translation. That's what it looks like. I don't actually understand every word in Gurmukhi, so I rely on the translations of people who do. This is what Kundalini Yoga East said about this mantra. The Rakhe Rakanhar mantra is for complete protection. It is a victory song, which allows us to be guided by God's graceful and merciful hand. It does away with the obstacles to fulfilling one's destiny. This mantra is part of the evening prayer which adds energy to one's being and helps when you are physically weak or have limited wealth. It was written by Guru Arjan, the 5th Sikh Guru. Chanting this mantra helps against fluctuations of the mind. And I love that. I especially love this. It's a victory song, which allows us to be guided by God's graceful and merciful hand. Yes, a victory song. That is what we are going to be doing this challenge. So how to participate? You're going to you watched this introduction, and now I made a separate instructional video just so that you don't have to, like, if you forget how to do it, you could just watch the instructional video and not have to watch this whole video again. Then we'll do the meditate with me video every day for 14 days. Normally, meditations are done for 40 days so that it kind of rewires your entire blood supply. I write that, just read this page for that, but I felt like 14 days was exactly right for this challenge. So we're just doing this for 14 days. And of course, you can do it however long that you want. Do it for 100 days if you want to, that's fine. But we are doing 14 days together. So we will have a daily check-in inside of my Facebook group, Intuitive Healing with Ali Doucette. So you can share your experiences there and comment when you've done the meditation. And there we go. Are you feeling ready? Let us go and heal our nervous systems.